A lot of players feel that Bravers are underwhelming, and that's absolutely fine. Well, is there a way to improve the experience? Absolutely. A way to complicate it even further? Hell yeah! Today we'll be exploring the different Braver combinations, basic and advanced rotations, and how to execute all of them depending on the situation. Let's go! Just a short disclaimer, most of these builds have been tested and double-checked with the damage formula, along with all the frame data and PP management. Some are subjected to pure theory crafting as my Meseta is crying, waiting to be noticed before it's gone for the rest of eternity. First things first, basic Braver combinations, starting with Katanas. Note that the point of DPS calculations are boiled down to two things: sustained peak damage and short bursts. Using a short burst when a boss is up is pretty much inefficient, while dealing sustained peak damage during downtimes is a waste of potential. Always observe the situation, especially when the boss is about to break. We basically have 3 DPS rotations for you. So the first one is effective if you have a minimum of 134 PP. The sustained damage is a great thing, especially for moving targets since Leaf Storm can chase horizontal targets. This has a total of 11 hits per rotation. The next one is your most efficient PP to damage ratio rotation. This is useful when hitting down bosses while Brave combat is on cooldown. Lastly, this is your peak damage rotation and preferably used with Brave combat. Using this 6 times usually grants you full PP right away, so using Brave finisher after depleting your PP is optimal for another set of rotations right after. If this rotation is successful, you just did 371 potency per second and sustained it for 14 seconds. Neat, right? Also, it goes without saying that you can choose between Leaf Storm and stage 2 to 3 Iris Gale, or just go full Iris Gale for mobbing. Let's start with the class combinations that we think are viable. So, if you have a nice combination in mind, please let us know down in the comments. Spreading the knowledge is what keeps us curious and interested in the game, so every bit of new information helps a lot. Also, we've got a Braver competition coming up and you might get a chance to win 500 AC. Details are at the end of the video. So, here are the combinations. Under bows, we've got Ranger Braver. For katanas, we've got Braver Fighter or Braver Hunter, or basically you can swap them. For both options, we've got Tector and Braver. Honestly, following this build doesn't mean you'll feel good about it. The most important thing is enjoying the combination you are using. This guide is simply meant to inform you of the potential that these builds possess. Let's start with Sega's surprise performance, which is the bow. Now you might argue that having Braver main is great to maximize the 10% weapon damage bonus, but Blight rounds come at 20% bonus damage, which means you'd actually get more theoretically, given that you have 24/7 Blight round uptime. It takes a little while to practice, especially if you're used to melee classes, but this combination also provides a better AoE option in the form of homing darts. With that being said, here's the rotation we suggest. Assuming you place the Blight round in perfect spot and you master the rotation mitigating the slight frame delays of human error, we start with Uncharged Dimensional Ray, followed by Charged Flex Shot. Now, Supercharged and Charged are different. We're just using the Stage 2 Charged Flex Shot, and then follow it up with Illusion Plus. Rinse and repeat until your PP is depleted. This brings us to a total of 9 to 17 seconds depending on your equipment. This deals a nice 382 potency value per second with the subclass penalty and without the Blight round multiplier. But with Blight rounds, this ramps up to 461 potency per second, which surpasses the Twin Dagger's buzzard at 389. In a realistic setting, you still have time to squeeze in a couple of shots depending on your PP pool, but the consistency expands when you use Vialto, since Illusion Plus generates 8 PP per hit, while Flex Arrow costs 17. With the right Fixa armors, this rotation can last even longer, which should be enough time for Petas to get back up again. For cool points, you can end the rotation with a supercharged flex shot. It feels so damn gratifying. Moving on to the next combination, which is my personal favorite, the Katana and the Wired Lance. Well, this is pretty much self-explanatory as a lot of content creators, myself included, has murdered this weapon in so many ways. It covers the weaknesses of Braver like gap closers and AoE while giving us more defensive options. Third on the list is Katana DS, and is entirely a niche option if you really love katanas. DS alone deals so much more damage if Fighter is your main class. Yet, this is an interesting combination since this is where you'll most likely get an extended duration of DPS. Two of our Discord members, Samash and Vadok, helped us from evening till dawn on what's a feasible rotation to practice with this multi-weapon. Basically, it goes like this. Assuming that you have the maximum stacks of whirlwinds, you activate Brave Combat, drop a stage 2 JD or a full JD depending on the distance, then drop 3 Lotus Lightnings, another stage 2 JD, 3 Lotus Lightnings, Brave Finisher, and Deadly Archer. This lasts for a grueling total of 16.21 seconds with a consistent 366 potency value per second. In case you're wondering, yes, we already nerfed the DS attacks. The subclass penalty is what drives the DPS down. If we switch to a fighter main, then a quick rotation burst from fighter DS can deal 396 DPS at its peak. Now you might say it's easier to just spam Lotus Lightning and be done with it, but it's more than just damage. With DS Multi, you have a 360 parry that closes the gap, an iframe that allows you to cook dinner while waiting for it to finish, and a PA gap closer. The utility of this combination makes it a fun yet worthwhile option to consider. Again, in terms of damage, Fighter Main and Braver Sub with DS Katana still deals more damage. Last on the list are Detector mains, which can choose between the Katana and the bow. I reckon you already know where this is going. Elemental downs, techniques, a better DPS rotation compared to the main weapon standard of the class, you get the idea. The good thing is, Talus can finally get a better weapon parry and generate additional PP with Rialto for a longer duration, while Wands can enjoy the benefit of something else besides Wave Crash. You also get to play the support role with Shift of the Band and a nice parry from Wands. Nothing wrong with Wave Crash, but it does put you out of place sometimes compared to Lotus Lightning. Plus, it simply just deals more damage for lower PP cost. With Brave Combat activated, you can cast 2 Lightnings instead of 1 Wave Crash. So we're working on the time attack competition for Bravers, but we need your help. So head on over to the community tab and cast your vote. Drop some comments too for suggestions on the event. It's always nice to do something for the community by the community. That's it for now, fellas, and we hope you learned something or a thing or two from this video. Please drop a like if it did and subscribe to get notified in our future videos. And as always, peace, be nice, stay safe, and stay motivated. Which means you'd actually get more theoretically. Oh no. Oh, hey Saymash. What's up, man? I am recording right now, so is it okay if you are going to stay on mute for a bit? It's like a sneak peek, yeah. This is a good sneak peek thing for our Discord members, yeah, how we do things. Okay, I'm gonna continue.